Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's always so nice to report on a company that actually responds to its player base and actually gives them what they want out there. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the First Descendant has done an excellent job of that with removing the tails from one of their skins that of course made all of the fanboys absolutely happy out there, and a great show of fan service that everybody absolutely seems to love that actually plays the game. Well, the latest for the First Descendant is going to actually add jiggle physics. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's favorite part about watching a beautiful, bodacious, beautiful woman go out there and bounce around all over your video game screen is now coming to the First Descendant as well. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, the typical little psychopaths out there that we have now found out actually represent next to no real significant portion of the population, and they are crying and screaming and crying about it, and it's absolutely hilarious. These people should be mocked. These people should be ridiculed. These people should be shamed for these absolute insane and asinine takes, ladies and gentlemen, and that's exactly what we're going to do right here. So we're going to give you all the juicy details of when you will get to see jiggle physics and the First Descendant, and of course laugh, ridicule, and make fun of all of the little psychopaths out there that of course melting down over the fact that gamers are getting what they want. And I know, God forbid, making the customer happy is something that is so foreign to a lot of these little psychopaths out there in the cult, but ladies and gentlemen, that's exactly what we're getting, and it is a beautiful thing to see. So we're going to check out this article from boundingintocomics.com, getting all of the juicy details of all of these juicy jiggle physics that are coming out here very shortly. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below, letting us know what you think about all of this kind of stuff. Are you excited? Are you going to jump back into First Descendant? Have you played the game? Do you think the addition of the jiggle physics is something that's going to draw you back in? Or if you're a new player out there who's like, hey, yeah, they're doing this kind of fan service, I'm absolutely playing this game. Or are you one of the rare little weird woke weirdos out there? Let us know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. Also, if you'd like to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well. So from Bounding into Comics and our dear sweet Nicola Pajic, the First Descendant announces plans to add jiggle physics, prompting outrage from critic. Gamers, they're the most pathetic incel losers there are. Oh, well, if we're the most pathetic incel losers out there, how did we make sure that the gaming industry is the top entertainment industry out there, making billions upon billions of dollars more than Hollywood or anyone else out there? Yeah, we're just a bunch of losers, aren't we? A little over 2 weeks after delivering on fan requests to add a tail-free option to the game's Twisted Worship skin, and Korean developer Nexion has yet again answered one of their players' base's most regular demands and announced that proper jiggle physics will soon be added to their sci-fi lootership. Yay! That always makes things more entertaining to watch on screen, now doesn't it, boys and girls? Nexon never shied away from the risque designs for the First Descendant female characters, with its art direction from the very start having leaned into the concept of sex appeal. Because guess what? Even as mainstream legacy media, Hollywood kind of articles have to put out there, sex sells. Yes, it does, ladies and gentlemen. As seen in the fact that a good number of its selectable skins leave almost nothing to the imagination. I'm sure you boys, and probably girls, are totally complaining. However, in light of the game's risque aesthetics and high-paced action, players were quick to notice one particular graphical inconsistency. Namely, the fact that although the titular descendants spend most of their time running, jumping, and fighting, their chests and backsides did not properly react to the movement. And honestly, boys and girls, if you've ever dated a girl or have been around or even had a friend that is very well endowed in any aspect whatsoever, you know, if they're running, if they're jumping out there, those girls are going to bounce, ladies and gentlemen. And yeah, we all love to see it. Thank God for those sweaters. But that's all set to change with the upcoming update, as Nexion has announced that jiggle physics will soon be bouncing onto the world of Ingress. See what you did there. Good job. Taking to the game's official Discord on November 14th, the First Descendant producer Byom Jona Lee informed players, I wanted to share some important news, so I decided to come online late tonight. After a lengthy discussion with the art department today, a decision has been made to add the much requested jiggle physics. This was decided only a short while ago, so the details of when and how it will be implemented in the game are yet to be finalized and will be shared in future updates. I hope this will be a pleasant surprise for our dear successors who have been waiting for it. Oh yes, I'm sure everybody's going to be super excited for this one, boys and girls. In a follow-up post, Lee further noted that rather than turning Jiggle physics on by default for all players, Nexion was instead considering adding an on or off option for Jiggle physics to provide players with more freedom of choice. And that's always a good thing. That's all a lot of players want. You know what? If you don't like the Jiggle physics, if you think it's distracting, or if you think it's offensive to women, cool. Turn it off. Don't play with it. It's not rocket science. And at the end of the day, guess what? Not every game has to be made for you. When you try to make something for everyone, you end up making it for no one. And that's the exact same kind of flops we have seen over the last couple of years, especially inside of the video game industry, ladies and gentlemen. And for those curious by Lee's statement regarding age ratings, the producer would further clarify that the decision to not include Jiggle physics initially was not due to age rating concerns. In fact, it had been under review for some time, but we hadn't decided when to proceed, which is why we have avoided answering related questions. They didn't know when that was going to come out. They didn't know whether or not they were actually going to do it, so they've been trying to avoid the topic. But now it is official. First Descendant will be getting Jiggle physics, boys and girls. You're going to be able to watch them movies in that butt bouncing. Woohoo! Hey, I don't have any problem being a toxic male. I love it. Beautiful women. I love the beautiful female form, and I am not going to be ashamed of that in any way, shape, or form. Hell, we literally, during our live streams Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, I intentionally try to find some kind of eye candy, something for the guys to look at and try to give you something a little refreshing and something nice to take your mind off of all of the horrendous things going on out there. But of course, while this news was met with applause from the First Descendant players, the usual crowd of social media critics were quick to condemn the decision, with many, unsurprisingly, accusing the move of being nothing more than a sexist incel bait. Oh, color a shock there. And we've got Megan right here, whose title is Gender Defender. Boy, I wonder what this they-them's opinions are, ladies and gentlemen. Female characters shouldn't have aspects, specifically just so that they're sexy or for fan service. Oh, really? Because fan service has worked out pretty well for the anime and manga world now, hasn't it? I.e. the, absolutely have to have it bathhouse scene in every single series, the obligatory bathhouse scene. Oh, yes. Sexualizing women is never okay. That isn't a woke claim. It's a fact. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to somebody who's actually had relations with a woman, probably unlike Megan here, a lot of women do like to be quote-unquote sexualized. They like to feel sexy. They like to feel beautiful. They like it when you smack them on the bum and tell them, that's a wonderful behind. These are the kind of things that actual women who enjoy being adored actually like. Not a bunch of people with their stick up their behind, ladies and gentlemen, much like people just like this. And here we go. Tanap, Ping Tuber, Sentient Funko Pop. Oh, joy. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful, thank you for having such a wonderful personality that you're literally a sentient Funko Pop. Yeah, these are the people we should be taking serious, ladies and gentlemen. And this is coming from the guy whose X handle is the Common Nerd. It's always the shitty games that need bouncing tits to be relevant. LMAO! How about they focus on making an actual good game, not garbage with tits? Well, tell that to the over 10 million players who have played this game on Steam already. So, methinks, I don't know, maybe the company should be listening to their player base, you know, that 10 million people that actually play in the game, not a few little weirdos out there on social media crying and complaining, oh, it hurts me because a game I've never played and had no desire to play and was never gonna play is now adding Jiggle physics and I have to be offended and let the world know. You know, it goes back to a saying my grandfather used to always say, it's better to keep your mouth shut and let everybody think you're an idiot than open it and erase all doubt. Clearly, these people never learned this lesson. Clearly, they never had somebody tell them that because they open their mouth and erase all doubt all of the time, which is why we're making shame great again around here, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we're making fun of these people. That's why we're laughing at them and ridiculing them because that's exactly what they deserve. This kind of mentality is absolutely insane. And guess what? If you don't like it, don't buy the game. Although it's actually free to play, so no worries. And of course, keeping it short, Redacted Spider here says, that redacted guy, Incel's version of Destiny. Oh boy, there's a whole lot of incels out there if there was 10 million people playing the game. Now, wasn't there? It's almost like we always have been, always will be, and it's never changed, that we're the majority. That people that like looking at beautiful things, whether it be art, whether it be women, whether it be men. It's a strange concept that we're actually the majority out there. I know, it's wild. And this is from Andrew Foul Trash, who I looked it up, actually has like 68 followers on Twitter, so yeah, take that for what you will. This is why I almost never tell people I like video games, because gamers are the most pathetic incel losers there are. It's so embarrassing. Oh, poor little crybaby. Hey, by the way, why don't you go and tell that non-existent girlfriend you've got right before she pegs you after getting banged by a much more dominant alpha male out there? Because clearly, Andrew, that's probably the best relationship you're ever going to get, but probably at the end of the day, you will be the one that goes out there and ends up being completely and totally alone, jerking off to all of your little weird porn and all that kind of strange shit you see out there on the internet. And guess what, Andrew? It's going to be exactly what you deserve because you're a pathetic man, self-hating male. I'm not even going to call you a male because I don't think you a man because I don't think you deserve that status in any way, shape, or form. But you're a self-hating male, and by all means, go right ahead with your pity party. Go out there and prove that you're a strong man who's all about there for female rights, and watch the alpha male run off with your hot best friend because that's all you'll ever be is a friend. At current, Nexion has yet to confirm the official date for the deployment of the Jiggle physics, but far from the only thing that being worked on, the game's dev is also putting the finishing touches on the game's Season 2 update, which is set to introduce a slew of new content when it drops on December 5th. Boys and girls, December 5th is going to be a good day for us. I can't wait for it now. And of course, they go over and talk about all of the rest of the stuff, and we can talk about all of the rest of that, but really the important part is like the 10 million players. Despite criticisms of a repetitive gameplay loop, the First Descendant still stops Steam's best sellers chart upon release, and given it is free to play, and reached a total player count of 10 million during its first week. And obviously the numbers have dropped off just like every other game out there, but boys and girls, at the end of the day, this is great. This is just more of us winning because more of these major studios out there, and shout out to South Korea and all the cool stuff that's coming out of a lot of those places over there. But at the end of the day, we are winning. The normal, common sense, nerds, gamers, geeks, whatever you want to call yourself, or maybe you're just a common sense, normal, run-of-the-mill Joe or Jane out there. Either way, at the end of the day, we are winning, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, adding Jiggle physics, does it seem like it's that big a deal? No. But the fact that it is going forward and unabashedly, these companies are just doing it, and they don't care about the screaming little weirdos out there on the internet. They don't care about all the little crybabies who are going to give them some nasty little reviews because they added Jiggle physics to a game, which is actually, in reality, how it would work in real life, ladies and gentlemen. For any of you out there that have ever watched a female track team out there, this is reality. This is how things actually work. And they're simply making it more realistic to the player. And yeah, cry, whine, all you want. At the end of the day, you little sick, little simple sickos out there, you crybabies of the cult, will continue to whine, will continue to gnash your teeth, and guess what? It doesn't matter because you were never the dominant force in the population. You were just the one screaming the loudest while the rest of us sat back there and stayed quiet. And now that we've all woken up and we've made our voices heard, you have found out that you are indeed the minority we always claimed you were, and your garbage doesn't sell. And the First Descendant adding Jiggle physics is just a cherry on top of the sundae, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful chef's kiss to an already fabulous game that I highly recommend. Go support this company. Go push back against the little woke weirdos out there and check out First Descendant. Even if you only play it for a little while, add to their numbers, go let them know what you think about the game, and make sure that these woke weirdos cry even more, especially when the Jiggle physics finally get released, because boys and girls, this common nerd certainly can't wait to watch that bounce.